Domination.
Hey guys, Friday, so like it says on my channel, expect a new vid every Friday. So here I am, I'm going to play a round of Domination on Rundown.
Enemy has A.
And while I play, I'm going to talk about basically just how class and everything went today. Because I have some very interesting stories that I would like to share with you guys. The first story happened during my intro to CSI class. If you guys watched my, I think last time there, yeah, the last one I did, I told you that my instructor for that class is a police officer here in Platteville. And apparently last night he had bar patrol, what's basically he just hangs out at around the bars until closing time, and after that to make sure that there's nothing going on. And I guess while there, he was across the street from, I can't remember what the name of the bar is. Trying to think. Oh well, doesn't matter. Just he was across the street from the bar, and apparently there was this big love triangle that had been going on for a couple of years, and it all went to hell last night. So there's this girl, and we're just gonna call her G, right? She was going out a couple years ago, was going out with a guy named T. Well, these two had a baby together. But while the T and G were going out, G also was going out with M. And at the same time that M and T were going out, M had a baby just like G and T did. So this woman has children with two different people, and what's funny about this, everybody within this story that I'm talking about is, they're all friends, and I guess they do meth together. So anyway, so those two have a baby together. T doesn't know this until B runs off with G, I guess, and they get married. So they get married, but at the same time that G is married to M, G decides to get it on with another man named C. So, of course, as the rest of the story has gone, those two have a baby together. So at this point, it's starting to get really funny. Anyways, so they have a baby together, and M finds out about this, and he is not amused. So he decides to go and stab C for revenge for what he did to his woman. So there's this whole thing going, so he stabs him, and of course, M ends up going to prison. So anyways, after C is going out and gets stabbed by M, C's brother, E, decides, hey, I want a piece of this woman too. So apparently, he started going out with her, and but unfortunately, there was no baby. I know, saddening. So they don't have a baby, but during this time, M, I guess, got out of prison 2 weeks ago, and since he had nowhere to go, G decided to let him stay at her house. So he's been living with M for the last 2 weeks, I guess, and all the kids, by the way, the mom has none of them, so G has none of these kids. They're all with, well, at least T's child is with grandma, C child is with grandma, and M's child, who knows? No one knows where that child is. But anyways, now you know where all the children are. But anyways, so the guy got out of prison, and I guess, like I said before, they're all friends, and I guess last night, they were all at the same bar, what was right across the street from my instructor's place where he was sitting for bar patrol. So apparently during the night, sometime T decided to tell his friend Cameron that he wants to finish M off. Cameron to finish M off. So Cameron thinks that this means, hey, go stab him and kill him. So Cameron, who's actually a Platteville native, decides to go and stabs did C? Did he stab C? No, he stabs M, my bad. Because C gets stabbed by M. Yeah. So, he goes and stabs M. So M gets stabbed in the neck, right by, like, I want to say it's 2 centimeters away from the jugular. So if it would have been 2 centimeters more, he would have been dead. But not only does he stab him in the neck, he also decides to basically slice his forehead open. And also, I guess, punch him. So apparently he really wanted to finish him off for him. So after this, the guy runs out, and the 2 officers see the guy run. So they're like, this is kind of odd. So they go into the bar, and they see the guy on the floor just bleeding out. Like, he is bleeding profusely. So they start chasing the guy. So a 3rd officer arrives, and as it was described, he is a cheetah with speed. I guess he's extremely fast. So he's described as a cheetah. So apparently the way that this happened is the cheetah totally devoured the gazelle, the guy that was running. So he got totally owned by this officer. So they get him, but they don't find the knife right away. Apparently they didn't find the knife until 7 a.m. this morning. Yeah, this all happened, I guess, last night. Well, it was pretty cool. So he told us this story. And he's actually really good for telling us stories. He tells us them all the time. So I think that's pretty cool. Always about what's going on and stuff. Anyways, so that's the story about this love triangle that deals with all friends who all do meth together. Now, that class I have at noon. Now, after that class, at 1 o'clock, I have correctional philosophy. And that class was funny as all hell today, too. Because we were talking about if you need medical care, all you have to do is go to prison because the state pays for everything. So, so at one point he was telling the story about some guy in Oregon. Well, I guess he's not a guy anymore, but he was sentenced to prison, and he was in the middle of having a sex change. He had already got the boobs, he was taking hormones, and all he needed was the operation to get rid of his penis. So, after being incarcerated in the Oregon prison system, he tells the state that he needs to have this operation to get rid of his penis, so that or otherwise, if they don't let him have it and they don't pay for it, he's going to commit suicide. And I guess this case went all the way to court, the Oregon court, and the court decided that it was the state's responsibility to pay for this operation because of just the rule that the state must provide for its inmates. So the state lost, well, I guess they didn't really lose it. I guess, maybe they did lose the case. But it was decided that the state has to pay the $17,000 for this operation for this man to get rid of his penis so that he can complete his transformation into a woman. And this whole time, we were just laughing our ass off in the middle of class because this shit is just hilarious. So anyways, then our instructor asked us personally, just as in class, do you think that's right? And as you can probably imagine, most people said it's not, because why should the state have to pay for a man to get his penis chopped off? Well, it's not really chopped off, I guess, turned inside out to make a vagina so the guy can become a woman. Well, this guy currently is residing. The state did pay for it, and they did do the surgery, and now the guy was transferred to a female prison because he is now technically a female. But I find extremely funny because I personally don't think that the state should have to pay for that, but you know what, it's just my personal opinion. And so if you'd please comment, well, I should say I ended up going 29-11, but if you'd please comment, like, and subscribe, I would appreciate it, and I will get you out another vid on next Friday for sure. I might put one up earlier than that, I'm not sure, so I will get you up another vid, and I hope you have a good week.